These strategies are like the secret sauce that helps the model to generate the exact responses we want to get the most relevant and accurate responses. So these are the terms which helps the LLMs to understand the conversation between the models and the human, like how the prompt strategies will be crafted. How we will craft our prompt and give it to the particular LLMs and try to generate the best possible response out of it. That it will make the model ponder and reflect on a topic. Like it's an effective prompt approach for LLMs. Like you just have to frame your questions to help the LLMs to look after their records so that they're able to search for the best possible responses against the question that show the similarity with the question from the past. Assalamu alaikum everyone. So let's continue the prompt engineering topics with the relevant prompt strategies to generate the prompts for every situation that will be handled by the LLMs in future after the completion of fine-tuning coursework. Today, inshallah, we are diving deep into the fascinating world of prompt strategies and LLMs. So get ready to learn about the secrets behind blocks and crafting features to engage the conversations and shaping the outcomes of these incredible AI models. Now moving towards the prerequisites. Before we move forward, let's check out what you need to have in your toolkit. Like first of all, you need to have a solid grip on prompt engineering. Next, you need some familiarity with pre-trained LLMs and basic natural language processing concepts and machine learning concepts will be your guiding stars. And now moving towards our objectives. Our objectives are pretty straightforward too. We are here to introduce you to the magic of prompt strategies in LLMs. Next, you need to deep dive into different strategies that bring life to LLMs outputs. After that, we will compare the impacts and limitations of these strategies. So buckle up because we have got quite the adventure ahead. Our agenda is set to cover the following exciting topics, existing topics like what are the prompt strategies, what will be the need, and why we are using these kind of strategies in LLMs, and how it will be effective for large language models. Now let's set the tone with the thought-provoking quote like prompt strategies where the art of large language models meets the science of influence. It's all about blending creativity with precision to guide these powerful large language models so that each and every person can give some accurate and precise prompt to the large language models and get an accurate and best possible response from that large language models in the response of that particular question. So what's all the fuss about prompt strategies? Well, these are the techniques that work behind the scenes to create smart, effective prompts or instructions for our large language models. These strategies are like the secret sauce that helps the model to generate the exact responses we want to get the most relevant and accurate responses. So these are the terms which helps the LLMs to understand the conversation between the models and the human. Like they try to link the conversation and provide the best possible result out of it. Like LLMs try to understand the prompts at the front node in each type of conversation mechanism. Like as you can see through the picture as well, as is it tried to illustrate a communication method where a girl tried to communicate or share some message to different person and each person will figure it out according to their listenings. So it totally depends upon the capabilities and process of the large language models. Now moving towards the need of prompt strategies in LLMs. Here I will explain the need of these strategies in LLMs, but for that purpose you have to hold your horses because this is where the magic happens. Sure, you can throw prompts at the model, but without prompt strategies, you are missing out the main fun. These strategies are like the steering wheel of a car, guiding it towards the clear and precise, guiding it towards the different type of variations like clear and precise responses, navigating specific tasks, kicking biases to the curb, keeping things consistent, adapting to different contexts, nailing complete complex tasks. It also try to add that personal touch to the large language models, to the responses generated by the large language models, churning out varied outputs getting specialized output, and also it tried to boost the efficiency and try to generate some accurate and precise response through it. After that, let's pull back the curtain and peek into the art of crafting these strategies, like how the prompt strategies will be crafted. How we will craft our prompt and give it to the particular LLMs and try to generate the best possible response out of it. There are four main elements in LLMs provide, starting from context and background. In LLMs, providing relevant context is essential. It involves framing your request with clear information about the topic or task you want the model to assist your requirements. Next step is when interacting the large language model, precision is an instruction, like it's a key asset to the large language models. Like you have to clearly specify what you want the model to do or generate. It will break down, then it will break down the complex tasks into simple steps and use explicit language to convey your requirements. After that, you have to set some expectations, like guidelines that the model will get and try to generate some output through it. You have to clearly state what you expect through the model, that the model will have to produce result according to your expectation, whether it's a smart summary, is a short summary, a detailed explanation about the desired outcome, or it will be anything that it meets your criteria. At last, the iteration and refinements in prompts can enhance your results. After receiving an initial response, you can refine your request by tweaking the prompt based on the model's output to get closer to the desired one. Like these all different type of strategies have the large language models to get the best possible result out of the prompt you try to generate through it, out of the message or question you try to ask through it, and try to generate the best possible response out against that particular questions. All right, let's dive deeper. Think of prompts as the magical ones that conjure responses from our LLMs. Check out these strategies, like starting from pose, like you try to pose a direct question or provide clear instructions. Next, set up a real world scenario to get real world responses, or you try to compare different ideas or concepts for valuable insights. You can also imagine different scenarios and ask for creative and speculative responses. Like all of these type of strategies are utilized to craft the prompt. Like you have to generate some some creative prompts so that LLMs can understand that particular prompt, and then it will able to generate some response against that particular prompts. Here is the example of prompt crafting strategies as a response, which we get through ChatGPT. In return of prompt crafting techniques, so that you can see through as how the prompt will be crafted in real world scenario and how each technique falls in its place properly. If we talk about hit and trial mechanism, the first example that comes to everyone's mind is try again till you succeed. Like we can take this quote as an example. So you have to picture this like here, like try and fail strategies. It's a kind of trial and error game with LLMs. Starting from a question, like you try to post some question in an LLM, it will see where it falters within the context background to refine the prompt and repeat it until it will give you the best possible response against it. It's all about fine tuning until you strike gold and achieve it successfully. Now, moving forward, if you want our prompts to be accurate and generate the results in LLM accurately as per our demand, then for that we need this methodology, that is decomposition method, which is a powerful prompt strategy in LLMs. It works by breaking down the complex queries into simpler parts. Like instead of asking the LLMs like questions like explain quantum physics, you can utilize the question strategies like define quantum theory, then detail its real world applications. This type of methodology will help LLMs better understand and provide precise responses instead of giving every kind of data regarding the quantum physics. Like you just asking it real world scenarios and the definition, and it will tell you about details about its history and each and everything, and you don't even need it. So for that purpose, decomposition will be utilized there. We are not stopping there. That's decomposition, where you break down complex tasks into manageable bits. But now we have another option by our side, that is chain of thoughts, which precisely guide the model step by step for in-depth insights. Like if we begin with a basic idea and ask questions randomly to the LLMs, but after that we start asking the follow-up questions from it, like why we need it or how is that possible, like something, these kind of questions. Through this process, we try to build a chain of queries to encourage detailed and informative responses so that we're able to make interactions and try to gather more informative and engaging responses from LLMs. But remember, the main purpose behind this whole type of strategy is to link the whole output with each other. Like through these LLMs are able to understand our questions, and then it will generate some responses in a detailed, well structured and well defined manner against the most complex responses as well. Then we have self-consistency. Before moving towards the next strategy, you have to understand its purpose in prompt crafting. That it will make the model ponder and reflect on a topic. Like it's an effective prompt approach for LLMs. Like you just have to frame your questions to help the LLMs to look after their records so that they're able to search for the best possible responses against the question that show the similarity with the question from the past. Like sometimes we can even ask those questions to LLMs that we ask on already basis. So LLMs have to be understandable, enough understandable that they can search from the previous questions and try to generate a generate some link with these questions and show similar output regarding that output. For example, based on what you said about healthy eating, so just a week's meat plan. This encourages coherent and contextually consistent responses to enhance the conversation mechanism that will be result in a better response in future conversation methods. Okay. Before moving forward, like, have you ever thought about having the model ask that will ask you questions instead of you will ask questions to the LLMs? It is possible, like through the reverse prompting methodology. It's like a smart LLM prompt strategy, where instead of you asking directly, you have to pose questions. Like if you are curious about best workout routines, what would you ask? This prompt strategy will help the model to generate insightful answers, resulting in more focused and informative responses. It will just flip the script, making the model request into form you into some information from you. It's like guiding the model to generate awesome answers, but as per your guidelines, not from the training resources. That makes the LLMs more understanding in different kind of situations. So now let's move towards the another mechanism, that is auto prompting, which is all about searching for the best responses. The LLMs try to use the model's previous responses as a springboard. For instance, like you asked to it that you mentioned previously about the AI applications. Can you elaborate further on their social impacts? This leverage that model's own insights by maintaining its conversation flow while deepening the discussion. It works on the basis of some strategies like continuous and discrete prompts, prefix tuning, and some other type of techniques, which makes this methodology a game changer. Now let's talk about adversarial prompting, a dating strategy where we challenge the model's behavior by crafting prompts that trigger unexpected outcomes, like we enter into the uncharted territory. It works on the basis of creativity, like you ask a stance opposite to your desired answer, like can you argue against renewable energy? This question challenges the model to generate well-rounded responses, enhancing its ability to address diverse perspectives in a nuanced manner. Let's talk about the limitation. Like every hero has their strengths and weaknesses, right? The same goes for these strategies as well. Starting from jailbreak. Jailbreak highlights the limitations, but beware of offensive content. Then we have auto prompting, or it will save manual work, but customization might be limited. Then reverse prompting. In reverse prompting, it try to create inverse prompts, but not suitable for all cases. And in self consistency, it will boost consistency, but can be a tad repetitive. Okay. Then we have chain of thoughts. it will get us detailed responses, but sometimes they are too verbose. Then decomposition, it will enhance response quality, but domain knowledge is crucial. So each and every prompt crafting strategy has some limitation by their side, while they have some strength strategies as well on their end. And there you have it. Each strategy is like a paintbrush in an artist's hand, crafting unique interactions with LLM. Some strategies focus on guidance, others on coherence. Chain of thoughts and decomposition strategies curve or complex answers. So that's all from my side regarding this lecture about prompt crafting strategies. Further, we will discuss more topics in detail. So stay tuned. We will back soon with another video. Till then, thank you for watching this whole video.